Amazing. Hey, guys. I am here with my amazing client, Helen, who in 12 months has had a serious transformation, not only physically, but mentally as well.
Mm.
I think that's fair to say, and a
Yep.
health transformation and a health transformation. So, just before we get started, I want to share what it was like for Helen before, just in case anyone watching this video sees themselves in you, Helen. So,
Yep.
I mean, you were dieting for 20 plus years, struggling with binge eating in the evenings, feeling completely out of control and around food. Then there was health concerns like pre-diabetes and quite bad asthma for you. So, I would love to speak to you, Helen, and just see what it was like for you before, what life is like for you now, 12 months
Yeah.
later, and maybe share a couple of tips of the things that have kind of helped you to get here. So, what was give us an idea of what you were experiencing, what was life like for you before we started working together?
So before I joined, my weight was just spiraling. I'd hit menopause, and that added to my weight problem. I suffered with depression, and I was just at an all-time low, really. So a friend of mine sent a link to your 5-day boot camp, and I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose.
Hmm.
So I thought I'd come along to that and just see, what that did. By the end of that 5 days, I thought, do you know what? It's now or never for me. It was my cholesterol, my blood pressure, constant headaches, indigestion. It was just everything. And it was because I was eating so badly. I was so tired all the time. I wasn't eating properly. And, to me, the most healthy meal I probably had was pasta with the jar of sauce.
Mm.
That was on a good day. On a bad day, it was oven chips and a burger.
Okay.
So, I didn't look to do anything more than a tin of beans with it or something. It
Hmm.
was just, I wasn't eating healthily. And I didn't have the energy to eat healthily.
Kind of stuck in a bit of a cycle. Like I
Yeah,
don't have energy, I don't
yeah,
have time. That way, I'm not gonna go out and prepare a big heavy meal.
yeah,
Um, and then so you go for convenience foods, but that foods is then feeding back into the poor
yeah,
health and
yeah.
lack of energy. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, 12 months down the line, and some things are a little bit different for you now.
Yeah, slightly different. Yeah,
Okay. Well, first and foremost, you've gotten down to 44 pounds off, so
mm,
20 kg,
yeah,
whichever weights you use. So
yeah,
over 20 kg, 44 pounds,
yeah,
which is insane, insane.
yep.
So I mean, I can stand here and tell everyone what's happened, but you tell me what's different for you now? What's going on?
Um, I think between meal planning, so after the 5-day boot camp, I signed up, obviously,
Hmm.
because I'm here. I just thought, do you know what? I am worth investing in.
Hmm.
So I did the boot camp. I did the session with you on meal prep. So planning my diary, sort of 2 weeks worth of meals. And then I started just like bulk batch cooking. So I'd do a few different meals, throw loads in the freezer. And after a few weeks, I had quite a rotation of meals in there. So it'd either be, it'd be the basis. So it would be a curry or a chili. And I could take them out daily and have them with rice or jack potato or whatever I fancied. Um, so yeah, just getting that sort of basics out of the way and realizing how easy it was to meal prep. Because to me, it was like, oh, that's going to take forever. Never did I think I could have like my slow cooker on the go, a big pan on the go, and a wok on the go, and have three meals being cooked under an hour sometimes.
Wow.
And I could just get on with my day, and then I've got food for the next 2 weeks, I think.
Amazing.
So, yeah, so that was life changing. Started to eat better. And then I find I'm not snacking all the time. I'm not falling asleep after work.
Hmm.
Because that was another thing. I'd get home from work and I'd just sleep. And then I'd wake up, and you say about 8 o'clock, and then I think, well, I don't want to cook now.
Hmm.
So at the beginning, I was still sleeping a bit. But when I woke up, there was a meal ready there for me because I'd already prepped it.
Hmm.
So that was, I think, a big start of it. And then all like the daily habits. although I'm not the best at writing things down, um, I found things like the water. I'd put that on my phone, so my phone would remind me every half hour to have some water.
Mhm.
Um, Doing the exercise to start off with, it was quite, I don't know, I struggled to get into it, but I just did 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then,
that's a really good point. Is just starting small. So
yeah, yeah,
that's starting small and starting with small habits. Was
yeah,
that how was that for you?
good, because it was manageable. You know,
Amazing.
it wasn't overwhelming.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and that's the main thing with me is if I go and do something and fail, I just give up. So
Yeah,
if I say
yeah,
to myself, you've just got to do 15 minutes.
amazing. And you're not alone. You're absolutely
No,
not alone with that
no,
one. Okay, so what's it like for you now? So you mentioned about cholesterol, blood pressure,
yeah,
uh, fatigue by the sounds of it,
yeah,
asthma. So tell me what's going on, like health-wise, what's changed?
right. So we'll start with the asthma. I've gone from, bearing in mind I was veggie 24 years, vegan 11 years before I joined you.
Hmm.
Um, I've always had loads of medication. I'd have steroids at least twice a year. I'd have antibiotics at least twice a year for chest infections. I was taking a daily tablet at night, my preventative, and my Ventolin that I'd use like 3 or 4 times a day. I can't remember the last time I used my Ventolin. I don't take a tablet at night. I haven't had steroids or antibiotics this year.
Wow,
So, you
good
know, it's
stuff.
over 12 months without any of them.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's been about 6 months without the nighttime tablet. And the preventative, I've gone from 2 puffs in the morning, 2 puffs in the evening to one in the morning and evening, if I remember. um, yeah, so that's a massive change. Um, yeah, exercise, as I said, I've got myself a dog now. So I'm
So
out
exercise is
walking.
inevitable.
It's not a problem anymore. So yeah, and I find it a really good way to wind down at night as well. I take her out for a nighttime walk. So telly's off. I've gone out for a walk, cleared my head, and come
Mm,
back, and then we
mm.
just settle down for the evening.
And because I know you, I kind of know the answer to this, but I wanna ask you to share your experience. So, I know what that was managing and what that was handling. So, in terms of the evening eating and
Yeah.
emotionally eating,
Yep.
how have you got to grips with that?
Well, it was very difficult to start with because I just it was it was habit.
Yeah.
So just like I've learned new habits, you can drop old habits.
Mm,
So I'd be aware that I wanted to eat. And I'm thinking I'd go out to the kitchen and I'd just stop myself and say, well, you're not hungry.
mhm, mhm,
Um, and then I'd sort of ask myself, well, what is it you're after? Because it's not food. What are you trying? And I think by writing down your feelings and working out why you want to eat something, because it's usually comfort or
mhm,
stress.
mhm,
So yeah, just being aware of what your body's asking for. It's not asking for more snacks. It's asking you to meditate, or it's asking you to do breath work, or
mhm,
asking you to do some exercise,
mm.
or just think about your emotions rather than hiding them.
So you've been able to manage your emotions and work through
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Amazing. Fantastic. In a healthy way. In a healthy way. Amazing. So what's three things that were the most helpful for you in your journey that made the
Um,
biggest difference?
oh, I'd say I did the one-to-one session with you, the meal planning. That was massive for me because um you tell everybody about the magic meal plate, but I think trying to plan it yourself is quite difficult.
Okay.
And it ended up we had it was 2 or 3 weeks we did 2 weeks. So we had that planned for 2 weeks, and all I do is change it about a bit. So I'll put
Hmm.
different spices in, or I'll do a Moroccan in one week, an Indian the next week. You know, so
Hmm.
I just change it about like that. So that was massive because it meant that I've always got the template
Mm.
for doing my meal prep. So
Yeah.
that's
So you've
really
got
good.
so you've got
Yeah,
like you just said, yeah, a template and then that's just on rotation. What does having that template and rotation do for you?
just speeds it up.
Okay.
I know basically I've got in enough like frozen veg, tinned veg, like tin beans
Hmm.
and things like that that I can just chuck in without even thinking. I've got it all in the house already if I
Hmm.
haven't had a chance to go and get fresh veg and what have you. But yeah, it just means like this week I'll think, right, I'm going to do myself some ratatouille and a curry.
Hmm.
So I just do a little shopping list, go to Tesco's, 10 minutes, back.
I think something to note again, because I've worked with you for 12 months, I know
Yeah.
this. I think something to note is it works with you and your lifestyle.
Mm.
We've figured out a system and a routine with
Yeah.
the frameworks that works with you and your
Yeah.
lifestyle and your
Yeah.
capacity and your memory,
Yeah. And my
right?
attention span.
And your attention span, all of those things, absolutely. Yep. So, sitting down and so if you're not working with me, sitting down and figuring out a decent framework for your meal planning, or working with me on that one. Second.
The check-ins, because there was weekly to start with, then fortnightly. It just means, you know, that you've got this person looking over you. When I'm in Sainsbury's or Tesco's, I'm always thinking, oh, it's Bianca watching. It just keeps me on track.
Is my phone
So
camera on?
yeah, she linked to my phone and she'll know if I've just put
I've
biscuits in my
I've had many
trolley.
of clients be like, "How the fuck did you know that? How did you know I needed that to hear that today? How did you
Yeah,
know that this has happened?" Okay, so regular touch points.
yeah.
Um,
So
uh,
it just keeps me on track. And I
yeah.
think, and it is stupid because you're not in the supermarket with me, but if you're tempted to buy something, I just think no, because I'll have to tell Bianca about that. Um,
Amazing. So having someone to report to and be
yeah,
accountable to.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at
Awesome.
the end of the day, I'm accountable to myself,
Hmm.
but I just, you need that support to keep you on track early on. Um, and then I'd say the community, because you've got the WhatsApp group, and if you're having a bad day or if you're having a good day, you can post about both, and you've got people there supporting. Everybody's on the same journey, trying to, get fit, get healthy,
Hmm.
and they're supportive.
Amazing. Amazing. So get support, figure out a meal system that works for your
Yeah,
lifestyle,
yeah,
and get accountability.
yeah,
And make sure that someone's checking over your shoulder and checking
yeah.
in with you. Fantastic. Awesome. So, is there anything that you'd like to add if someone sat there on the fence and they're like, not too sure whether I need help or not too sure if this is the right thing for me? What would you say to them? What would you
Don't
say
have,
to you 12 months ago?
what would I say to myself? You've got nothing to lose. I mean, I was in a situation where I was just having more and more medication, and I didn't want to be that person. I hated myself. And over the last year, I've learned to be kind to myself. I've learned all the tools I need to look after myself. I'm so much healthier. I'm healthier now at 58 than I've ever been in my life. It's just ridiculous.
I'm so
So anybody else who's looking and thinking, should I do this? Yes, you're worth it. Do it.
You're a true rock star, Helen, and you have done all the work, right? You've done all the heavy lifting. You have put the work in. You have come back to me with your tail between your legs and been like, Bianca, and we've worked through it and you've
Yeah,
worked through it.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
am so proud of you. 58, did you say?
yeah,
58, at 58, you're the healthiest you've ever been. That is
yeah,
incredible. That is
yep,
incredible. So when people say, "Oh, I'm all too old. Oh, it's too late."
yeah. Never too late.
Never too late. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming here, Helen. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Yeah.
Guys, if anyone's watching this and you're on the fence, flick me a message wherever you're watching this, on YouTube or Facebook or I don't know, wherever you're watching this, flick me a message and we can see if it's the right fit for you. Thank you so much, Helen.
Thank you. Cheers.